अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? आई होप आप सब लोग बिल्कुल ठीक हैं। सो हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं अपनी क्विज की स्टडी को। हाँ जी, तो यूज़ ऑफ डोमेस्टिक एनिमल्स आर reared from reared for several purposes. The most important of them are kept for agricultural purposes, milk and its byproducts, transportation and other purposes, fertilizing the fields. इसमें है domestic animals also yield dung and farmyard manure, which are so necessary for fertilizing the fields agricultural purposes. We use cattle for many agricultural purposes, such as the drawing of ploughs and carts, lifting of water from wells, carrying of loads, crushing of cane and seed, threshing of grain, and to the performance of such other forms of productive activities for agricultural purposes. Bullock and buffalo are the most important. Milking cow, goat, sheep and buffalo are kept mainly for milking. Wool, goat and sheep also yield wool. Transportation: horses, ponies, asses, mules, camels, sometimes also elephants were old means of transport. सही है। उसके बाद हमारे पास वाइल्ड लाइफ एनिमल्स इन पाकिस्तान। A number of different species of wild animals exist in Pakistan owing to the difference of geography and climate among the different regions of Pakistan. The diversity in the wildlife of Pakistan is huge. You will find poisonous snakes in deserts. And wild bears in the mountains, the rivers, forests, mountains, deserts and plains of Pakistan are abundant with wild animals of different species. Some of the animals are found in large numbers, while some are endangered species, and steps should be taken for their protection and for increasing their population. Fishing cat. This medium-sized wild cat is found in very limited numbers in Pakistan. Fishing cat resides close to rivers, lakes and streams. The last night of this amazing cat was in 2012 in Sindh. ठीक है। उसके बाद एशियाटिक ब्लैक बेयर. Asiatic black bear is found in some parts of Pakistan. According to estimates, the population of this wild bear is somewhere around 1,000 animals in Pakistan. Grey wolf is found in the deserts of Thar Parker, Cholistan and in the lower hills of Balochistan. The grey wolf population is largely dependent on livestock, primarily sheep and goats. They also eat small rodents like rats. Cincrate, this is the highly venomous snake found in Pakistan. The snake is often confused with the common crate. Pakistan has a huge population of cincrate. It is found in different areas of Sindh as well as in some northern areas of Pakistan. Indus River dolphin. This freshwater dolphin is found in the Indus River in Pakistan. There are 5 different areas in the Indus River where this dolphin is found. These are separated by the irrigation barrages. Himalayan brown bear, as the name of the animal suggests, is found in and around the Himalaya mountains range. It is the largest animal found in the Himalayas. The color of the bear is reddish or sandy brown. The population of this beautiful animal is only 150 to 200 in Pakistan. Magar crocodile is also known as Indus crocodile and Indian crocodile. This crocodile has a medium size and it can reach length up to 16 feet. It is found in freshwater ponds, lakes, sluggish rivers, marshes and swamps. It is the only species of crocodile found in Pakistan. The estimated population of Magar crocodile in Pakistan is between 400 to 450. It is found in the rivers in Sindh and Balochistan. उसके बाद है एशियाटिक कोबरा. Asiatic cobra is the most venomous species of cobra in the world. This dangerous snake is found in the northern half of Pakistan. In case you ever come across this dangerous snake, stay away from it. Once a human was bitten by the snake in the northwestern Pakistan. She suffered from severe neurotoxicity. She was rushed to the nearest hospital. However, she died on her way to the hospital. Immediate appropriate medical treatment should be given in case of a bite by Asiatic cobra. तो इन्होंने औरत की एग्जाम्पल से भी हमें ये बात बता दी कितना खतरनाक है. उसके बाद में अल्पाइन मार्कोर्स. This beautiful white goat is found in the northern mountain ranges of Pakistan. Markhor is also the national animal of Pakistan. The total global population of markhor is estimated to be 2,500, and out of this, about 1,500 markhors are found in Pakistan. Snow leopard. This is an extremely rare animal that is found in the mountain ranges of South and Central Asia. In Pakistan, this beautiful wild animal is found in the northern mountains of Pakistan. According to reports, there are only 200 snow leopards left in Pakistan. These are found in the Hindu Kush, Karakoram, Pamir, and Himalayan mountains in KP के आज़ाद कश्मीर and बल्तिस्तान. उसके बाद है जनाब सैंड कैट. This wild cat is native to Pakistan. It is the smallest of the wild cats and can be found in the deserts of Pakistan. ठीक है. White-headed duck. White-head duck. This can be found all over Pakistan. The male has a blue bill and the female looks like an ordinary duck. Himalayan black bears. This can be found in mountains of Kashmir, Swat, Kagan, and Chitral. This bear has maximum size with a white V-shaped patch on its chest and they weigh on its chest. They weigh from anywhere between 110 to 200 kg. सही है. उसके बाद aquatic genetic resources. Aquatic genetic resources include all genetic resources living in water. By that we understand fish, cyclostome, mussels, decapods, marine mammals, aquatic plants, and all other water-dwelling organisms that populate marine, coastal, or inland waters or are kept in aquaculture. Seawater and freshwater fish, but also crustaceans, mussels, and other seafood belong to the most important sources of protein for human consumption worldwide. As the basis of the fishing industry, they play at the same time a major role in socio-economic terms, particularly in developing countries. Local fishing and the related branches of production guarantee the income of a large part of coastal communities. सही हो गया. उसके बाद है फ्रेश वाटर फिशरीज यूज बोथ wild stocks of lakes, reservoirs, and rivers, and stocks in aquaculture that are more or less affected by breeding, while professional lakes and river fishing has sharply decreased in Germany during the last century. Recreational fishing with currently more than 1.6 million anglers is becoming increasingly more important. The use and exchange of aquatic genetic resources have been crucial element in helping aquaculture become the fastest growing food producing sector over the past 3 to 4 decades. Although it has been estimated that less than 9% of the current aquatic species being farmed have been the subject of formal genetic improvement programs. Today, aquaculture accounts for nearly half of all fish consumed, and the proportionate contribution is expected to increase to meet future needs. Improvements in aquaculture. Improvements in aquaculture technology, aquatic animal health, aquatic biosecurity, animal husbandry, nutrition, larval rearing, genetics and breeding have led to a great diversity of farmed aquatic animals. More aquatic species are being farmed today than ever before. In 1950, countries reported farming 72 species from 34 families. By 2013, production was reported and estimated from nearly 575 species items associated with over 115 families. Aquatic genetic resources include all genetic resources living in water. It includes fish, cyclostome users, decapods, marine mammals, aquatic plants, all other water-dwelling organisms. Importance of aquatic genetic resources. The contribution of aquaculture to world food fish production increased from 33.9% in 1970 to more than 50% in 2014, with growth expected to continue. Aquatic genetic resources are of key importance for the future genetic improvement of fish strains to achieve sustainable development of aquaculture. सही हो गया. उसके बाद माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जेनेटिक रिसोर्सेज. माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिज्म इंक्लूडिंग वायरस, बैक्टीरिया, आर्की, फंजाई, प्रोटिस्ट, माइक्रोस्कोपिक प्लांट्स, वाइल्ड ग्रीन एल्गी एंड एनिमल्स सच एज प्लांक्टन. Microorganisms generally receives scant or no attention in overall receives scant or no attention in overall reviewers of biological diversity and global genetic resources, perhaps because they are often studied by different methodologies and scientists based in laboratories rather than herbaria, museum, botanic gardens or germplasm banks. The use and exchange of agricultural microorganisms presents a wealth of opportunities of improvement of food and agriculture production systems and for contributing to energy production and waste management in agriculture. The following areas where use of microorganisms currently plays an important role in agriculture have been identified in this study. Plant growth promotion through soil microorganisms in the understanding and surveillance of microbial plant pathogens. Biological control, beneficial symbiosis in the guts of ruminant livestock. Production of next is production of chemicals of direct benefit to agriculture workforces in agro-industrial processes. So next is benefits of microorganisms. Microorganisms also provide beneficial services in food production systems. Important areas of use that were identified are fermentation, probiotics, production of chemicals of benefits to food production and understanding and surveillance of health hazardous microorganisms such as food toxins and foodborne pathogens. So the future trends and issues. Microbes permeate the entire food and agricultural process. While the most visible role of agricultural uses of microorganisms is probably that of producing and delivering food, microbiology is critical to other agricultural sectors as well. For example, production of energy based on plants or other organic materials, and for bioremediation of agricultural waste. Microbial influences on food and agriculture produce both advancements and disasters, as some microorganisms present a threat to plant and animal health and contaminate food production processes. सही हो गया. उसके बाद हमारे पास में endangered species of Pakistan. Animals are an important part in Pakistan's ever so beautiful landscapes. Sadly, due to increasing pollution, destruction of habitats and hunting enthusiasts, these animals are at risk of extinction. These are some of the many endangered species. These are some of the many endangered species Markhor yep, the national animal. It is on the brink of extinction too. This white gold is classified as near threatened by the International Union of the Conservation of Nature. There is some good news though. It was discovered in early 2015 that their population has increased by 20%. Mountain weasel. These are creatures that live in the higher altitudes, mainly Kashmir. The habitat change is pushing their number to dangerously low. Human development is causing this change, such as the construction of roads and bridges. Their food supply is also reduced, having to share it with domesticated cattle and horses. Next is Asian black bear. It is this big black monster seems to be an interesting hunting trophy for many people. The expansion of human settlement into wildlife territory has affected their growth, putting a threat on their species. It's a shame people are destroying such things for personal pleasure. Um, Balochistan forest dormouse. This tiny rodent is apparently an ingredient in medicine, putting it in high demand, especially for the Chinese. An interesting fact: this creature has a crescent shape on its chest. They might look ugly and small, but they are an important part to the habitat and its cycle. Black finless porpoise. For a sea creature to be finless and unique should be all for special treatment and preservation. Unfortunately, this and many other marine creatures are suffering due to human stupidity and population. European otter. This endangered animal is one of the most rapidly dying creatures in Pakistan, considering it's a water animal and the amount of pollution in our water is not so surprising way. So it is not so surprising why. अच्छा उसके बाद है जनाब वोल. Due to habitat changes, these little stars are facing threats of extinction. This also one of the endangered animals the WWF has especially highlighted for protection. Indus River dolphin. This is a dolphin at higher risk thanks to the development of the dams and other water storage and collection resources. This is one of the most recognized sea creatures we have. It would be helpful if we learn to take care of it before it dies out forever. Branded as eagle ray. This fish is a part of the eagle ray family of fish who live in naturally low sea areas and shallow waters. Unfortunately, water pollution, people throwing away shopping bags and waste, factories spilling their waste, chemical matter and sewage is harming this beautiful sea creature. Biggie tuna. This is an important fish for food. Unfortunately, rapidly increasing uncontrolled pollution and recreational fishing has caused massive drop in the number of this fish. This endangered animal is killed brutally for human pleasure. Marco Polo sheep. This sheep found in the northern areas is a target for many hunters. Their spiraling horns and imposing statues is a thing of beauty. Don't let them die forever. Snow leopard, a unique creature in the mountainous areas of Pakistan that is also sadly under threat. According to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, as of 2003, the size of the global population of this beauty was estimated at 4080 to 6,590 adults, of which fewer than 2,500 individuals may reproduce in the wild. Due to hunting and rapid human expansion, there is a very limited amount of these beasts left. Okay. Siberian cranes nest in scattered breeding territories, preferring wide expanses of fresh water with good visibility. Sadly, water pollution due to human negligence and selfishness is the prime cause for their decrease in population. At one time, they were a common sight in Pakistan. Maybe one day, if humans keep on with their selfish encroachment, you will say the same about horses or cows. Green sea turtle. It's shocking to know that one of the most fascinating creatures isn't developing because of our man-made horrid climate. It is illegal around the world to collect, kill, or harm them, but law never stopped Pakistanis. Did it? Of course, that's true. These animals are captured for their shells and skins to be sold at higher price in the black market. Okay. Long-billed vultures. These creatures may seem sinister because they are flesh eaters, but they play an important role in Pakistan's ecological landscape. They feed off dead animal carcasses and are an important part of the Parsi community's ritual disposition of their dead. The deadly drug diclofenac sodium, which is used in the feed for cattle, is a chemical compound that kills these vultures at a rapid rate. Pakistani skies were populated by throngs of vultures until 2001, and now areas like Changamanga forest, which boasted a population of over 1500 vultures, has none today. इसके बाद हमारे पास में है जीन इन्वायरमेंट इंटरेक्शन. जीन इन्वायरमेंट इंटरेक्शन और जीनोटाइप इन्वायरमेंट इंटरेक्शन is when two different genotypes respond to environmental variation in different ways. A norm of reaction is a graph that shows the relationship between genes and environmental factors when phenotypic differences are continuous. There are two different conceptions of gene environment interaction. Taberi has labeled them biometric and developmental interaction, while Cisartic uses the terms statistical and common sense interaction. The biometric or statistical conception has its origin in research programs that that seeks to measure the relative proportions of genetic and environmental contributions to phenotypic variation within populations. Biometric gene environment interaction has particular currency in population genetics and behavioral genetics. Any interaction results in the breakdown of the additively of the main effects of heredity and environment, but whether such interaction is present in particular settings is an empirical question. Biometric interaction is relevant in the context of research on individual differences rather than in the context of the development of a particular organism. Developmental gene environment interaction is a concept more commonly used by developmental geneticists and developmental physiologists. Developmental interaction is not seen merely as a statistical phenomena, whether statistical interaction is present or not. Developmental interaction is in any case manifested in the causal interaction of gene and environments in producing an individual's phenotype. So, methods to analyze gene environment interaction. Traditional genetic designs adoption studies have been used to investigate how similar individuals that have been adopted are to their biological parents with whom they did not share the same environment with. Additionally, adopted individuals are compared to their adoptive family due to the difference in genes but shared environment. For example, an adoption study showed that Swedish men with disadvantaged adopted environments and a genetic predisposition were more likely to abuse alcohol. सही है. उसके बाद है जनाब twin studies using monozygotic twins. The effects of different environments on identical genotypes could be observed later. Studies leverage biometrical modeling techniques to include the comparisons of zygotic twins to ultimately determine the different levels of genetic expression in different environments. Next is family studies. Family based research focuses on the comparison of low risk controls to high risk children to determine the environmental effect on subjects with different levels of genetic risk. For example, a Danish study on high risk children with schizophrenic mothers depicted that children without a stable caregiver were associated with an increased risk of schizophrenia. Okay. So next is molecular analysis. Interaction with single genes. The often used method to detect gene-environment interactions by studying the effect a single gene variation candidate gene has with respect to a particular environment. Single nucleotide polymorphism are compared with single binary exposure factors to determine any effects. Candidate studies such as these require strong biological hypotheses which are currently difficult to select given the little understanding of biological mechanisms that lead to a higher risk. These studies are also often difficult to replicate, commonly due to small sample sizes which typically results in disputed results. The polygenic nature of complex phenotypes suggests single candidate studies could be ineffective in determining the various smaller scale effects from the large number of influencing gene variants. उसके बाद है interaction with multiple genes. Since the same environmental factor could interact with multiple genes, a polygenic approach can be taken to analyze gene cross environment interactions. A polygenic score is generated using the alleles associated with a trait and their respective weights based on affected and examined combination with environmental exposure. Though this method of research is still early, it is consistent with psychiatric disorders as a result of the overlap of endophenotypes amongst disorders. This suggests that the outcomes of gene-environment interactions are applicable across various diagnoses. Genome-wide association studies and genome-wide interaction studies or genome-wide interaction can examines wide interactions can approach examines the interaction between the environment and a large number of independent SNPs are single nucleotide polymorphisms. An effective approach to this all-encompassing study occurs in two steps, where the genome is first filtered using gene level test and pathways based genetic and pathways based gene set analysis. The second step uses the SNPs with the gene environment association and test for interaction. Examples: in plants, 7 genetically distinct yarrow plants were collected and 3 cuttings taken from each plant. 1 cutting of each genotype was planted at low, medium and high elevation respectively. When the plants matured, no one genotype grew best at all altitudes, and at each altitude the 7 genotypes fared differently. For example, one genotype grew the tallest at the medium elevation but attained only middling height at the other two elevations. The best growers at low and high elevation grew poorly at medium elevation. The medium altitude produced the worst overall results but still yielded one tall and two medium tall samples. Altitudes has an effect on each genotype but not to the same degree nor in the same way. Phenylketonuria is a human genetic condition caused by mutations to gene coding for a particular liver enzyme. In the absence of this enzyme, an amino acid known as phenylalanine does not get converted into the next amino acid in a biochemical pathway, and therefore too much phenylalanine passes into the blood and other tissues. This disturbs brain development, leading to the mental retardation and other problems. Phenylketonuria affects approximately 1 out of every 15,000 infants in the US. However, most affected infants do not grow up impaired because of a standard screening program used in the US and other industrialized societies. Newborns found to have high levels of phenylalanine in their blood can be put on a special phenylalanine free diet. If they are put on this diet right away and stay on it, these children avoid the severe effects of phenylketonuria. This example shows that a change in environment lowering phenylalanine consumption can affect the phenotype of a particular trait. ओके, तो यहाँ तक हमारा आई थिंक क्विज का सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो गया. मैं आपको दिखा देती हूँ. ये देखिए फ्रेंड्स, ये हमारा BT 401 जेनेटिक कंजर्वेशन था, ये हमने पढ़ा. और इसके जो 30 टॉपिक्स हैं ना वो वहाँ तक आ रहे हैं क्विज में. और हमने पहले इसके 30 टॉपिक्स अलग अलग से कर लिए हैं लेक्चर वाइज. ठीक है, आप लोगों ने अगर वो वाली वीडियोस नहीं देखी तो जाकर देख लें. उसके अलावा ये देखिए जेनेटिक जीन एनवायरनमेंट इंटरेक्शन की जो एग्जांपल्स हैं ना, यहाँ तक 30 टॉपिक्स कंप्लीट हो रहे हैं. यहाँ तक पहले हमने टॉपिक्स कंप्लीट किए मैंने, ठीक है, क्विज की तैयारी के लिए. उसके बाद मैंने अपने हैंडआउट से भी इनको पढ़ लिया है और इनको मैंने हैंडआउट से भी थोड़ा रीडिंग कर लिया ताकि जहन में रह जाए. काफ़ी सारे पॉइंट्स इसमें हमने पढ़े हैं, ठीक है, तो इससे काफ़ी फ़ायदा हो जाता है. और इसके अलावा आप लोग भी ये वीडियो देखेंगे तो आपको काफ़ी फ़ायदा होगा. इसके अलावा मैंने शुरू में बताया कि किस तरह से आपने यहाँ से MCQs बनाने. और उसके अलावा अगली वीडियो में मैं जो है ना MCQs जो भी हमारे है ना यूट्यूब पर क्विज़ 1 के MCQs उससे रिलेटेड जितने भी MCQs आते हैं वो हम सारे देख कर यूट्यूब से, तो वहाँ से हम अपने नोटपैड में लिख लेंगे. ठीक है, आप लोग भी लिख लेंगे, मैं भी लिख लूँगी. मैं वो भी वीडियो में ही करूँगी आप लोगों के सामने, तो परेशान होने वाली कोई बात नहीं है. ठीक है, मैं कल ही सारे क्विज़ अटेम्प्ट करूँगी. 3 क्विज़ हैं, एक इंग्लिश का है, एक BT 401 का है और एक केमिस्ट्री का है, CHE 201. ठीक है, कल उसकी लास्ट डेट है. सो थैंक यू सो मच. अल्लाह हाफिज़.